Beep. That tiny sound you hear at a checkout counter might be the most powerful noise in modern civilization. It's quick, harmless, almost invisible to your brain, yet that single chirp is the sound of global commerce moving at full speed. Every time a cashier scans a product, a hidden language speaks. A language made of lines. A language that silently tracks what you buy, where it came from, how it traveled, how much it costs, and sometimes even who you are. But here's the strange part, the barcode, one of the most important inventions in modern history, almost never existed at all. And if things had gone slightly differently, your grocery store today might still look like something from the 1940s, with long lines, handwritten price tags, and clerks memorizing thousands of product prices like human computers. The story of the barcode isn't just about technology. It's about obsession, rejection, near failure, and one idea so ahead of its time that the world didn't even realize it needed it yet. To understand how revolutionary barcodes are, you have to imagine shopping before them. Every item in a store had to be priced manually. Cashiers typed numbers by hand. Inventory counts were done by physically checking shelves. Mistakes were constant. Lines were long. Theft was easier. Managers had no real-time data. Retail was slow, clumsy, and blind. Businesses didn't know what sold best until weeks later. Stores couldn't predict demand. Warehouses overflowed with unsold goods while popular products ran out. It was chaos disguised as normal life. And then one day, a frustrated supermarket executive asked a simple question: isn't there some way to automate checkout? That question would eventually trigger one of the quietest revolutions in human history. In 1948, a graduate student named Norman Joseph Woodland heard that question and couldn't stop thinking about it. Woodland wasn't just curious. He was obsessed. Legend has it he went to the beach, sat in the sand, and started drawing lines with his fingers while thinking about Morse code. Dots and dashes. Short and long signals. Suddenly his mind clicked. What if products could communicate information the same way? What if lines of different thickness could represent numbers? What if a machine could read them instantly? Right there, in the sand, the core concept of the barcode was born. But having an idea and changing the world are two very different things. Woodland and his collaborator Bernard Silver began experimenting. Their first design wasn't the rectangular barcode you know today. It was circular, like a target or bullseye. They believed a circular code could be scanned from any angle, solving alignment problems. It was brilliant in theory. They filed a patent and then nothing happened. For years, nobody cared. Technology simply wasn't ready. Scanners were bulky. Computers were primitive. Retailers didn't want to invest in expensive machines for a system that didn't yet exist. The invention sat in limbo, like a message from the future that nobody could decode yet. Years passed. The patent gathered dust. The world moved on. Most people would have given up. But the idea refused to die. By the 1960s, supermarkets were getting bigger, inventory was getting larger, and checkout inefficiency was becoming impossible to ignore. Lines were longer. Errors cost money. Managers needed better systems. Suddenly, the problem Woodland had tried to solve decades earlier was becoming urgent. Technology had finally caught up to the idea. Companies began competing to create a universal product code system. The challenge wasn't just inventing a barcode. It was inventing a standard that every manufacturer and every store could agree on. Without a universal format, scanners would be useless. It would be like trying to read 10 different languages at once. Engineers experimented with shapes, patterns, and encoding methods. Some designs failed because they were too complex. Others failed because they were too fragile. Printing errors could ruin them. Smudges made them unreadable. The system had to be simple, durable, and readable in milliseconds. After years of testing, one design finally proved superior: the rectangular barcode with vertical lines of varying thickness. Clean. Efficient. Reliable. It looked simple. But that simplicity hid a masterpiece of engineering logic. Then came the moment that changed everything. June 26, 1974. A supermarket in Troy, Ohio. A cashier scanned the first commercial barcode ever used in a retail transaction. The product? A pack of chewing gum. That single scan didn't just ring up a sale. It launched a new era. In that instant, shopping transformed from manual guesswork into digital precision. Stores could track inventory automatically. Businesses could analyze sales patterns. Supply chains could optimize distribution. That little beep became the heartbeat of modern retail. But here's what most people don't realize. Barcodes didn't just change shopping. They reshaped the entire global economy. Once products could be tracked instantly, logistics became smarter. Warehouses became faster. Shipping became more accurate. Companies could manage millions of items without losing control. The barcode became the backbone of supply chains, the silent organizer of commerce, the invisible librarian of global trade. Without it, modern online shopping, overnight delivery, and massive retail chains would be nearly impossible. And yet, despite its importance, the barcode is almost invisible to us. We see it every day, but we don't really see it. It's background noise. A pattern we ignore. That's part of its genius. The best inventions don't demand attention. They integrate so seamlessly into life that we forget they're inventions at all. Electricity. Wi-Fi. Barcodes. They become part of reality itself. The technology behind them is deceptively sophisticated. Each barcode encodes numbers that identify the manufacturer, the product type, and a unique item code. Scanners don't actually read the black lines. They read the spaces between them. Light reflects off white areas and is absorbed by black bars. The scanner detects this pattern of reflections and converts it into digital data in a fraction of a second. It's not just scanning lines. It's translating light into language. Every beep is a machine instantly reading a product's identity. Of course, like all transformative inventions, barcodes had critics. Some people feared they were tools for surveillance. Others worried they would eliminate jobs. Conspiracy theories spread claiming barcodes were secret tracking systems for humans. But history proved something different. Instead of replacing workers, barcodes changed their roles. Cashiers became faster. Managers became analysts. Logistics workers became coordinators of massive digital systems. The invention didn't destroy retail jobs. It upgraded them. As decades passed, barcodes evolved. Traditional linear codes were joined by QR codes, which can store far more information. Now a simple scan can open websites, process payments, verify tickets, and authenticate products. What started as a grocery store solution became a universal communication system between physical objects and digital networks. The barcode stopped being just a retail tool and became a bridge between worlds. Here's the twist though. The barcode's greatest strength is also its greatest weakness. It's so reliable we rarely question it. We assume it will always work. But imagine a single day without barcodes. Supermarkets would slow to a crawl. Airports couldn't track luggage. Hospitals couldn't manage medication safely. Warehouses would lose inventory visibility. Shipping companies couldn't route packages efficiently. Global trade would stutter. The world wouldn't collapse, but it would feel like time suddenly rewound 50 years. That's how deeply this invention is embedded in modern life. And the wildest part? The core idea came from lines drawn in sand by a student thinking about Morse code. One quiet moment. One curious mind. One question. That's all it took to spark a system that now processes billions of scans every single day across the planet. Today, barcodes are printed on nearly everything humans manufacture. Food, books, clothes, electronics, medicine, tools, tickets, packages, even wristbands at concerts. Each one is a tiny passport carrying identity data. Each one is proof that sometimes the simplest designs carry the greatest power. No flashy screens. No complicated interface. Just lines. Silent. Patient. Waiting to be read. So next time you hear that familiar checkout beep, pause for a second. You're not just buying something. You're witnessing a conversation between light, machines, and mathematics. You're hearing the sound of a system that reshaped commerce, accelerated industry, and quietly organized the modern world without most people ever noticing. And now I want to know what you think. What everyday object do you see all the time but have never really questioned? Drop it in the comments because your suggestion might become the next deep dive. If you enjoyed uncovering the hidden story behind something so ordinary, hit like so more curious minds can find this video, and subscribe for more stories revealing the extraordinary secrets behind the simplest things. Because sometimes, the smallest inventions tell the biggest stories.